how that works. All right, so theoretically this should be live, and we have a long cable out here, the B yard, so maybe the signal won't fade out. I'm using a phone that's not on the internet with a network service. It's with Wi-Fi only, so if it cuts out, it'll drop it like a hot potato, but hopefully it'll be a better signal. So let's see if I open up YouTube and look at content, and we're going to look in live. How come it doesn't list it here? That's interesting. Maybe it's not live. Let me go look at the screen again, see if it says live. Live. It says live for 1 minute so far. Wonderful. So how come it doesn't show up on my list? How about I exit this and try this again? I'm going to go into my account here, and we're going to look under live. Let's see, live. There we go. Is this it? Nope, that's somebody else. Oh, I love YouTube. This is what I have a problem with. Every time I go to use YouTube with something new, try to figure this stuff out. Let's see, right now it's 39 degrees out here. Our snow is still not completely melted. Hopefully with it being in the 40s all this week, we should get rid of this mess, because it's been like 3 weeks of snow everywhere you go. So let's see. My videos. Where do you see lives? You all. There we go. Shorts, videos. Doesn't say anything there. Alright, let's try the studio. Can we see our live video here under content? Live. View all. So when it's live, you can't see it? The last live I have here was 3 months ago when I was doing trick-or-treating. Go figure. I mean, come on, man. How can I be live but not be live? There is no listing under here for live. There's nothing here. I don't get it. How is that live? Is it publishing it later? I don't know. Live. Top fans. What good is this if I can't even use it? In live stream. What's this thing do? I guess that's just so I can go offline. Alright, so I can go offline. What's this thing do? Choose a sticker. Take a poll. There's the mic. Oh, by the way, I can't read with these are for long distance, so I can't see out them unless I look around them. What fun. All right, so I can do a makeup. Interesting. No makeup. All right, what else is in here? This is YouTube, by the way, live. Hi, Ryan. Thanks for joining the live. You are my top watcher at the moment. Hey, Ryan, have you ever done this YouTube stuff? How do I not see it on my... I got my other phone here, and I don't even see it in the listing. The last thing that's listed here was in October when I was on the internet. And, of course, it's backwards. Here, I'll flip it to the other camera. Let's see, flip it around. All right, so now it's forward. So Trick or Treat was the last one 3 months ago. And if I go up and down this thing, that is all there is. Let's see. And if I go to content, let's see, the last video we had was in February. Oh, that's a private one. We don't want to show you that one. That was embarrassing for my brother. I used AI to make him do something that he didn't do. So anyway, but here's the last one I did, YouTube. See, I did this YouTube live. Or not a YouTube video with, I did this with the AI. So that's my truck. And then this is the Home Depot creation, AI's creation of a truck that was behind me. It made it into a short bed. I thought that was pretty ingenious. It made it from scratch. All right, so now I want to go back. Let's see here. Where's my lives? So this is my channel here. And if I go to all videos, nope, that's not it. Doggone it. I don't understand this. Hi, Jimmy Luff. You're the expert. You do this YouTube stuff. Jimmy, how do you get your live to show up on your phone and so you can do like the, see this stuff while you're looking at the other camera? Because, hi Jacob, thanks for coming in. Hi, best buddy. Start painting like a dog. Panting like a dog? Ha ha! I actually need to be painting hives right now, getting ready for summer. But right now, you have no clue. Thanks, Jimmy. I saw you screw a hole in your tire the other day. That was funny. I mean, the way that you put effort into trying to get that thing going, that made me feel out of breath and old just as much. Of course, hair is still there. But anyway, so I had no idea. I thought it was going to be great. I have 2 cameras, 2 phones or whatever, and I'm going to try and watch it so I can text it while I'm over on the other side of the camera. And normally you can't see it, and you can't see it when you're so. But it's not working. I have no clue either. So anyway, I'm going to try and exit my YouTube. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to watch another live, this is going on right now. Whoops, let me switch it around. This is my nephew. He's splitting firewood right now at Glowing Firewoods. And of course it's backwards, right? Yeah. Nope, it's normal. So he's splitting wood right now live. He would like to do lives together, and I can't say yes, go for it, because every time I go out here, I use my phone and it loses signal. So today I've got a cable run almost out to the yard here to try and get my signal out better. And so far it hasn't jumped out, and the phone that's in my hand has the phone service, and then the one that's using the on the tripod is actually hooked up to the Wi-Fi. So I'm comparing the two to see if I get a good signal.
Charging cord for my phone.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you later. I guess his phone's dying too. And that's the other issue that happens, is the phones die. So I plan ahead. See, right now this phone is at 37%. So if it dies, no worries. But the phone that I am using as my camera is plugged into an outlet. So I have an extension cord this time. So now I have hopefully strong Wi-Fi and strong electric power. So theoretically, well, let's not trip it, unplug it there. It shouldn't shut off. So theoretically, I should be able to say, Glowing Fire, yes, let's go dual live. No problems. But I can't guarantee it because I can't see it. I don't even know. See, sometimes when you do lives, you can see like I shaved. Well, when I go to play it back, it's all pixelated. And I have no idea it's pixelated until I play it back and watch it. So maybe you could tell me, is it a good picture? Can you see like the lint on my hair or my hat? If so, put it in the comments, because maybe I just will come around this side of the camera and read it once in a while in the comments and then skip, trying to see it on my phone, because this isn't working. I mean, every time I go to here, I'm not seeing anything about my live being listed. See? Whoops, I gotta flip the cameras again. See, this is all I have. The last one is in October. That's the last live I have. Now if I hit view all, View all. No, I want to view all. Where's all the view all? Yeah, see? Look. There it goes back to like when I did my first lives. Yeah. Now that's funny. Way back then. I got what? 3 views? 23 views? Testing out lives? That's all I have. I don't have anything current. Sort by most current. How about most recent? It already is on most recent. So I don't get it. Can I see the hair in your nose? I don't know. Let me see. I trimmed them, by the way, so they're really deep. You gotta go in there deep. Can you see it? Oh! Don't pull them out. Yeah, they get annoying, by the way. When you get old and have gray hairs sticking out, every time you talk, they wiggle and tickle your nose. Drive you insane. All right, so let's see if we can. I don't know. I don't know what to do about this. So I guess Jimmy says he can see the hair in my nose. So I'm just gonna go with I don't know. See if we can do something here. So the first thing I wanted to show you today is this is the colonies that I want to take a look at. And over here is some fondant that I made. And I want to put it in, it's kind of solid. But if you pick it up, it breaks. It's crumbly. And it's pure sugar. See, I can't even tell. I can't even tell what I look like, see? Can't even tell. I gotta switch cameras. Let's see here, switch cameras. See, it's pure sugar. It does have a little bit of vinegar, like a teaspoon, or I just do a chug of vinegar in there. It's supposed to help break it down, but it's pure sugar that's been heated to 140 degrees or 240 degrees, and then allowed to cool, and then mix it up at about 180 degrees. You mix it up with a blender until your blender starts to smoke because it's too hard to mix up. And then you pour it out on this pan and let it cool off. So I want to give it to the bees. I am going to get my mask though. They call it a veil. Oh, here's another thing. You probably can't hear me when I walk away. So I'm going to try, tell me if this works or not. I'm going to try these earbuds and see if the sound is any better. My experience with the sound on this thing is it makes it all gargly and electronically googled. We'll see if that works or not. All right, it says it's connected. It says the battery's full. So my question is, does that sound any better? I have no idea. I don't know what the volume is. I can't test it out. So I'm dependent on all 16,000 viewers to tell me, does this actually make it better or not? I don't know. So I'm going to switch it around and I'm going to see if I got some bees in here. Then what? A them. I have no idea, Nate, what a them is. You do realize I cannot read. I have no reading glasses on. So what no, it's the same. Okay, thank you, Jimmy. At least we got one solid answer out of here. But theoretically, it should be the same, but it doesn't disappear every time I move, theoretically. I'm going to put on this veil that I got from Maybe Hives. It's a Chinese manufacturer. Actually, there's a dead bee on it. I guess it got frozen in time. So I'm going to put that on. It is a little bit small for the size of your head. I don't know if you can see, but I asked them about it. They said it's a universal size, but the size is kind of small. And I want to put on my hood because if I don't, they'll go down my neck and the back. And I'm only doing this because it's around 40 and they could fly on me. And if they fly, it could be bad. I do need one other thing. I'm going to get my hive tool before I even forget about it. Last time I did this and then I regretted it. So I got the hive tool. All right, so this first colony is the glass hive. Let's see. I'm going to break this off of here and see if we can get closer to the glass hive. Oh, great. It's underneath the tripod. Got to get the cord out from underneath the tripod. There we go. We are on the cord. So this is the glass hive. Let's take it to the other side of the glass hive. Ugh. Got a ratchet strap holding on the insulation, which is solely to try and keep the sun away so they don't get all stuck to the glass trying to get out, thinking the sun is there. There's the entrance. So now you can see what the bees look like in the glass hive. They are, dude, it is so blurry. All right, they are dead on the outside. All right, let's see what this side looks like. We've got a little bit of honey up in this corner. And I think they look like dead bees over there. And let's see the back side. We have a bunch of dead bees. And it looks kind of dry in there. They don't have a lot of moisture. So let's see. I can see your chest down. What? I can only see chest down when you walk away. Are you alive? Yes, I am alive. Hey, Mindy. Or Mandy. I never tried to pronounce your name before. Just Mandy Lee. Thanks for coming in. I always see dead. I always see you doing all kinds of stuff out there in Washington. I get jealous with all your lives. You do all kinds of crazy stuff. All right, so now let's take a look inside this colony here. Let's see. Well, we got one dead on the top. Okay, so we have an inner cover. Let's get you a little bit closer. This inner cover allows you to remove the lid easier when they try and glue it on, because you can pry it and maneuver it, because this lip right here, whoops, this lip right here, they call it telescoping cover. You can't get your hive tool underneath there to pry it up because the lip's underneath there. So, and then I have my vent blocked up. Oh, you saw that? You got cold. Cool bees, yes. Thank you. They are cool. It's around 40 something. So people don't want you to get out there until it's around 50. There's one trying to fly. All right, so we got a bunch of bees in here. They are on the sugar. This is fondant. And we've got them down in 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 frames of them. So 4 frames of bees. I would say, ooh, look at that. You can see where they are eating. This is where it sits on the frames, and you can see the little hollow spots where they're trying to chew away the sugar. They're making like little tunnels in it. And I feel a little bit of moist air coming down, so I'm not sure if it's raining or not. Maybe it's like a misty out here. So I like to keep this sugar right on top of the cluster. Now I'm dying to know, is this bunch of bees producing babies? You know, you're not supposed to do this. So don't do anything that I do in here, because you're not supposed to do this. This could kill your bees because it gets too cold. They don't like to be cold. Oh, they might even sting you too. They don't know that I'm a friendly person. So they might sting you. Yum yum. They like the sweets. Yes, they do. It's either sugar or honey or nectar. They prefer actually the nectar, from what I'm saying. They like the thinner stuff. When it gets honey, they tend to store it and they only use it if they have to. All right, so theoretically, right in here somewhere should be where the babies would be, right in the center here. So let me see if I can take out one of these frames on the outside here. I'm going to use my little J-hook. See if I can move these frames over. All right. Actually, while I'm at it, let's get rid of a couple of these dead bees. Might as well knock them off. Then I don't have to look at dead bees every time I look at the frame box from the outside. All right, let's see if we can move these bees on over. We're going to try and get to the center. See if we have any babies in here. That is my question. Do they have babies? All right. So don't do this. If you have bees, you could kill the babies. All right, so, whoops, we got one on my finger right there. Almost squished it. All right, so do you see any babies in here? Dude. Oh, man. You see any babies? I'll have to look later. I can't tell. How about the other side? We could even drop the queen and she'll freeze. Let's see, do we have any babies in here? Hello? Are you protecting any babies? I can't see anything. If they're capped. Oh, and it looks like this is sugar on this side, bottom here. And it looks pretty empty inside there. Alright, so we're supposed to put this back the way it came. Alright. Let's see if we got anything on this one. Whoops. Anybody on here? Oh, we got some sugar water over here. You can see the glistening. Man, I gotta get rid of these glasses. Can't see a thing. Alright, let's see here. Any babies in there? I don't see anything. Looks empty to me. We got a group over here trying to get some sugar. Oh, I feel one on my neck. Oh man, it got under my veil. Golly gee. You know what that's going to be? It's going to be a sting as soon as they get upset. You got to deal with this. You got to deal with this. I got one on my hand. Ah, doggone it! It got me right in the neck. Ah, golly! Right there. You see it? Ah. Yeah, get out of there. You already stung me. Ow! Damn the doggone neck. Oh, it's too slow. I'm taking the glasses off. Can't see what I'm on anyway. I hope there's no more. Dude, that hurts. I hope the stinger's out. Can't see it. It's right in the back. Might have gotten away. Maybe she didn't put it in far enough. Maybe she got away. Maybe she's gonna live. Oh no! She's on the inside. Is that? Oh, that's the outside. See that? Went right up my neck. That's why you're supposed to put these straps around your arms. You're supposed to keep this thing tight around your neck. I didn't do it. So I'm going to try it this time. But then you feel like claustrophobic because you're in here. See, this thing doesn't sit on your head very well. Okay, is it sealed up? No bees can get in? Alright. All this stuff you can't see. Ugh. Okay. Let's try it again. back to who's making this long thing out the everybody has sinned. Huh? Which condemns them to damnation without Jesus. And they said, before on the Lord Jesus Christ thou shalt be saved in thy house. King James. I like the NIV version. King James has got a lot of these and thous. But Jesus is the only way to get to heaven. You're live. Have you got your ticket for the heaven train? I guess I got disconnected for a moment. Ouch. Anyway, I agree. Glowing firewood. We got a bunch of smileys by Nate. Thank you for all the smileys. And dogs are God's gift. You know, some people don't really want to hear about the gospel. It's a timing issue. I learned that today. You have to hit them with it at the right moment. If they're not interested in it, it's like talking to the dogs. Well, sometimes they hear you, sometimes they don't. But we got to keep trying, right? Jesus saves. And let's get back to the other side. Did you want the meat this morning? Did you this morning? Huh? Oh, you mean the Jesus meeting? What meeting? I went to the meeting, a bunch of Christians. Yes, we call that church. Yeah, I usually fall asleep, but today we had this Jewish guy. He was born in a Jewish family in Brooklyn, New York, raised Jewish by his Jewish parents, and somehow God got through to him, and he realized that all this Jewish tradition stuff that, you know, like the Old Testament they used to do, all the Jewish leaders, not the Christianity Jewish stuff, but the religious stuff that doesn't have anything to do with Christianity. But he thought that that was the way to get to heaven, and then he was showed that Jesus died for us, and he realized that being Jewish and a Christian, it's just, you can be both. And so he became a Jewish Christian. So he believes that Jesus died for him, and that Jesus is the Messiah that they were waiting for to come back. And he went into the ministry to help other non-Jewish people explain this to their Jewish friends, so that the Jewish friends can be saved. Because apparently right now the devoted Jews, the ones that worship and practice the old Jewish tradition, a lot of them don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah. They're still waiting for God to send this person that's going to save them. And so right now a lot of them are kind of like missing the boat. So he's out there trying to show other people that, you know, help your Jewish friends. And he does warn, like his mom didn't come until later when she was almost dead, to realize that she needed Jesus. Some other person actually got to talk to her and reached her. And he says sometimes it takes years, and the person has to be ready for it. And if they're not ready for it, they're not going to hear a thing you say. So in the meantime, you have to be kind of like polite and nice and loving and all that stuff, and patient, and just keep praying about it and hope that someday the Lord will, what they call, open up their eyes and let them see, man, this thing hurts. The truth that Jesus is the Savior. And until then, you just go about your life and trying to do like Jesus would do, and waiting it out, which is the hardest part. So anyway, that's what I heard this morning, and I didn't actually fall asleep this morning, which is rare, because usually I'm, you know, because after you being a Christian for so many years, you start to hear the same stories over and over and over, and you hear the same subjects over and over and over, and you start to like fall asleep to it. So it's hard to stay awake sometimes. But realizing that Jewish Christians and what do they call them? What do they call these people that are not Jews that become Christians? What are we called? What do we call them? What are we called? I forget. Anyway, that we are on the same boat. We just have different backgrounds, And so the different backgrounds make it interestingly different, the way we approach and think about, the Christian walk, because it gives a little different twist to it. So some of those things that the Bible talks about, he totally understands because it's from his background. He can relate to all the stories and the fables and the different things that Jesus taught, and the different people in the Bible when they write their stories, how they relate. And Gentiles, that is exactly it. We are the Gentiles. So us Gentiles, never raised in Jewish tradition, so we have no idea what they're talking about. Some of this stuff, like olive trees. How many of you have an olive tree in your yard? The only thing I know about olives is it's the oil that you put on your food or something. It comes in a bottle. I didn't even know it was a tree. I thought it was a plant. I don't know. So, and then vines. Like we are, part of the body of Christ. So we're attached to the root, which is what God is. It connects us to, and we are like the branches on this big vine. And he was talking about how we as Gentiles been grafted in. God took this little branch and reattached it to the plant, and so now we're part of the body of Christ. And the Jews were like hacked off because God had enough. It's like they've been wandering around in the wilderness for 40 years and they're just totally lost and clueless. I mean, they used to be on the track, but now they're just thinking that if they do these traditions and all these different rituals, that they're going to get saved somehow because they're doing such a good work, and patting them on the back because they're doing such a good job because they're Christians. And then God's like, that's not really what it is. It's the heart. What love the Lord your God with all your heart. That's the greatest, rule? Greatest rule. So anyway, and they lost it. So then we're given this opportunity, the Gentiles, to become Christians, because now we're awakened with, Jesus walking around saying, hey, I'm the Messiah. And then we have all these guys telling the story of how they saw Jesus, and then all these people practicing this new Christian church thing where we all get together and meet and talk about Jesus. And so now we're grafted in. But apparently, he's saying somewhere there in Romans chapter 11 that you think that just because you've been grafted in and you're saved, that God can't cut your entire generation of Gentiles off because you start going off doing your own thing. Don't be thinking you're too much better than my favorite people, the Jews. I cut them off. Why won't I cut you off? So he kind of warns us to be on track. Oh my goodness. It was great. So I'm going to get back into covering up these bees because I think they're getting cold. Got all distracted. So now look how they sunk down in there. They're not up into the sugar as much. They're kind of like hovering down in there because they're kind of cold. I'm like, dude, this guy's trying to kill us. All right, so now we're going to put the sugar. This is what I've been doing. Finding out where the bees are hanging out and putting the sugar right down on top of them. Because I've been finding out that these bees sometimes can't get into the sugar if it's too far away. And I've had a couple die. I've had about 10. Let's get some more. Ow, did that sting? No, that was fake. So I've had about 10 die on me. I'm going to put another batch of sugar on top of there. I'm going to put on our feeder shim. This is about 3 inches. That gives a little room for that fondant to hang out. Then we're going to put on our inner cover. We've got the notch to the top. That way we can cover this up. That seals it up so there's no more heat getting out the top. Then I'm going to seal this lid up. I'm going to zoom you guys back a little bit further. Now I gotta wrap this baby up. That way they don't think that they can come out the glass and get lost in the shuffle. kind of interesting in this beekeeping journey that I've been on. I don't know, it's been 7 years or something. That a lot of beekeepers are Christians. A lot of them that I've talked to. Maybe because it's something that's not controversial as much. I'm not sure what it's about. They're in touch with nature. Because the Bible speaks of honey so much. I mean, they had Samson and that secret riddle, you know, something to eat that's sweet within something that's strong and mighty, or I forget how that thing go. And it ended up being honey in a lion carcass. But yeah, it's fascinating how many Christians I see in this industry. All right, so I have another colony. What is up here? Cheers, good. Hey, Glowing Fire, you're not splitting wood anymore? I'm glad to hear you're able to get back and didn't have to restart. Well, I don't even know why I glitched. Hey, Mike, can't stay. Just saw you. Hey, Mike, thanks for coming in. We have snow, by the way. I don't know if you got snow, Minnesota, Mike, but we got snow. And it's, I don't know, about an inch or two. And some of the spots are sunny and they're melting, but the rest, I don't get it. This is 3 weeks. We usually don't have snow hanging around that long. Hey, Sarah, thanks for coming in. I don't understand it. Hey, Sarah, is your flood still there? Sarah's Happy Highs. Have you ever checked her out? She's got a lake she's got to cross to get to her bees. I don't get that. You thought Moses had to go through some water. She's got some water to go through just to see her bees. All right, so I'm going to take this feeder shim off so you can see all these dead bees here. Might as well get rid of them. Now, I've heard people say that you got bees in a torpor, but my experience are if they ain't moving, they're pretty much dead. Because I've had some torpor bees, and I brought them inside and they woke up and started moving. And I kept them inside to try and keep them going. But they didn't act the same once they got frozen. I think once they've frozen, they're like brain dead or something. So I'm starting to think if you got dead bees, you can wake them up, but they're going to be zombies when they wake up. So what do we have underneath here? We got live bees. Look at that. So what I'm going to try and do is put on some food on top of here. Problem is they're right there. So we might squish some. And I got a bag on there because I'm sick of this. There's a hole in here. I'm sick of this hole. Because the bees get stuck in here. In fact, there's some in here now. They're dead. They get stuck in there. So I'm sick of the hole. And trying to stick it in there and then worrying about getting other bees that are trapped in there that can't get out the little hole. So I just leave the bag on there to keep the moisture underneath there. I don't know. Sick of the hole. Let's see. I'm just curious. See, they're up on top of the lid, so I never seen the inside. And they got 2 boxes on here. So curiosity, what is really in here? I want to find out. You're not supposed to do this at 40-some degrees, but I want to find out what is going on inside this colony. I want to know. Are they brooded up? Is there babies in here? Do they really need 2 boxes? Can you see 2 boxes? There's like 2 boxes on here. 2 boxes. Do they really need all those 2 boxes? I'm dying to know. So we're going to find out. What is in 2 boxes of bees? In February, what is it, the 16th? 15th? 16th? 16th. What do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames of bees underneath that pile. And it's hot. I can feel the heat coming off there. And there's an empty frame. No wonder they're not on that. And there's another empty frame. So I think what I've done here is I put empty frames in here because I figured, you know what? They can try and store stuff on here, but they're not going to get trapped on it because there's nothing on there to get trapped on. At least that's, I think, what I did there. Let's move this on over 2 frames and see if we can find what's on here. Is there actually eggs and larvae? And I'm looking down in here, and I'm trying to see, are they down in the first box in the bottom? And I don't think I see too many down in there. Ah, no, don't sting me. Don't sting me. Are you serious? I'm your friend. I'm only killing you. All right, so we got a frame of bees here. Ah, man, one stung me right there. Can you see that? Look at that bugger. Bother. And there's the stinger. All right, one dead bee. Hey, there's the queen. Right there, the blue one. Looky at that. So we have a queen in there. Now, in there, do we have some eggs? I don't see anything, but I see the queen. Let's see if the queen doesn't fall off. We'll hold it over top of the column. I do. I don't see anything capped. Let's see if we drop the queen. Where's she at now? Oh boy. Did we lose her? Nope, there she is. I'm a little nervous now. I think I'll put her back before I drop her on the ground. All right, so there's nothing on that one for eggs. Let's try this frame. Now we don't have to worry about dropping the queen on this one. Let's see. Do we have any eggs in here? Let's see. This should be the center. So let's see. Do we have anything? It looks like sugar water to me. So that's funny. If they're storing the fondant down in the frames of sugar water, that's interesting to me. So that tells me that they are storing sugar water. So when people say, you know, contaminating honey with sugar, I guess it's possible. If that's what they're doing, that means everything that's in the hives today should not be considered honey, because you don't know, it might have sugar in there now. So what I tend to do is I tend to mark all the frames when I see them in the spring with an X on them, or some other mark that says, you know what, this is contaminated and not pure honey. That way I know that later on not to extract that. And then anything else that hasn't been marked is free game, because they probably filled it with nice fresh honey. Look at that. You see that? There's my bees. They're on top of the fondant. This is the fun of winter beekeeping. You get all these fun things that normally you wouldn't have as a problem, because if you drop these on the ground, they're probably not going to fly in because they're probably too cold. So now you got all these other challenges, like trying to get your bees back in the box. All right. What fun. But I know that we don't have any brood. So that means that whatever they lose, they lose. They're not making any more. Because I saw what is it, the beekeeper up there in Canada? You know who I'm talking about if you're into all this stuff. That has all the indoor bees. He has bees that have brood in it. And their boxes are pretty full compared to mine. And, yep. I'm going to say 2 out of 2, no brood. That was my question. Do we have brood or not? Let's try another one. Got this blue one down here. Close the hive. Yeah, this is for scientific purposes. We need to know. Love the bees, sweet pea. You don't have to mark the queen, but you can. Yes, I like marking my queens. It's fun. And beekeepers put queens colors, the kids and others. Yeah, I love marking my queens because then I kind of be able to identify with them. It's kind of like naming your cat. Once you name them, you kind of get the feeling like you're attached to them a little more. And then you feel like you know them. So that's why I like to mark my queens. Like I know that one from last year. Woo! We got some bees in here. Now this is a smaller cluster. They're on 1, 2, maybe 3 frames. Now this one is like the size that you would think would die. You'd think that they're not going to make it because they're too small. Let's see. We got bees on the top of the bag. They might be robbers. It's just for fun to see what's in here. Because they're all there. All these other frames. Anything any good? What I have been doing, if they're this small, yeah, there's nothing in here. I have been taking out all this extra space and reducing it with a pillow. See, like this is all green with mold. So that's been getting cold and condensating. So, yeah, and there's nothing on there to use. That's like waste of space. So what I'll do is I'll use this one to go up against the pillow because I don't like to have wax foundation next to the pillow because then the wax moth can hide between the pillow and this foundation and start eating at it. So I'll use that as my separator. Let's see what else we got in here. These bees don't seem to be liking me. They're flying around me a little more than the others. These bees, I guess because they're so small, they're a little more defensive. So like this is a good one to put up against. It's got wax on the one side, but nothing on the other side. So maybe we'll put that right up against the colony. Man, these guys are making me nervous. The way they're flying at me makes me think that they are a little more defensive than the others, like this one. Trying to go up my wrists. And this one getting between me and the hive tool. Dang. Are you going up my wrist? Get out of there. And right now it's dusk out, so it may look bright on the phone, but it actually is starting to get dark. So I'm going to be running out of time. Right on the fingertip. Now that really feels good. Right where I cut my finger. Well, that'll be interesting. Does it make it heal any faster? Dang! That was like a bunch of things at once. That was nothing fun at all. That was like instantly like when you used to get vaccinated as a kid. I got stung like multiple times at once. So we're going to put on our gloves. Now these are a little bit small because these are made in China by the Maybe Hive group. So they're universal, meaning they don't fit. So when I put these on, my finger is all the way up to the tip, but the back of my finger is way back here somewhere. And I probably should put this up and over my coat sleeve to make sure that they don't get in, because they tend to weasel their way in any place possible. And when they get inside, I find that you just squish them, because the quicker you squish them and dispatch them, the faster you have of not getting stung. Alright, so I took out one frame, didn't I? Did I take one frame out? Nope. Let's try this one. I am not seeing anything but nectar in here. I don't know if you can see that, but that's all nectar. There is no babies. Let's see about this one. And this is one of those foundationless ones, so this one can break off. That's all nectar. I don't see any brood. And they look like empty cells, so I do not see any eggs in my colony. And that is very light. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this foundation on the one side, put it on the outside, the foundation that has nothing, I'm going to put it up against the colony. That way, that'll be my shield to keep them from having wax moths that they can't defend against. And I'm going to put a pillow. Bananas now. Dead bees make banana smell. Now my pillow is, let's move you back, is a chicken feed bag with fiberglass bat inside of it. You would think they would want to sting you because they lose their guts when they do. You're exactly right. Maple pollen will be coming in probably in about 7 to 10 days. Thank you, Nate, for the heads up. Not good time to be doing inspection. You are correct about that. But I want to know, we have brood in this polar metal. So we got fiberglass insulation. We got a feed bag. So we're going to stuff this in here to fill up this extra space. That way the bees don't have as much place to take care or maintain. They love it. And because of that foundation, they should not have to worry about wax moth up against trapped between the bag or hive beetles and all that stuff. There's nothing to worry about. And then they don't have to have all these other frames to worry about. So now I'm looking for my, ow, somebody got in there. How in the world got in my wrist? Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit more food on here, just so that they have no worries. Put the bag on top, with a hole on the top, so hopefully they don't get trapped inside there. And I don't see their inner cover. What did I do with that? I didn't have an inner cover on this one. Now that's funny. See, my boards, my highs, the lids are actually individual boards. So they could go between those boards and sneak in as a top vent. So I am not sure why that doesn't have an inner cover. So this is an inner cover from the maybe hive, because the maybe hive died. So this is their inner cover, and it's not vented on the sides. So I'm going to take the opportunity to add the sugar from the maybe hive that died with the rest of this. That way that they have even more sugar to play with. Now we'll put the both sides of burr comb. So you know what? I'll get rid of this burr comb. And you know what? Let's even go crazier. We'll use a piece of this fondant as an inner cover, a lid. Let's try that. There we go. So this is going to be my lid for the inner cover. So there's no upper vent. So that would be the experiment. So now there's no inner vent. And we've got two bees that are going to get stuck underneath here. Now they can get frozen. And there we go. Everything's shifting around. Everything. It's all broken seals, because I've done this all throughout the winter, trying to make sure that the food is right on top of the cluster. Let's take a look at another one. I'm going to get rid of these frames. We'll put them inside for storage. And we got one more colony here. It's getting to the point where I can barely see. So this is another non-insulated colony. Oh, let's see if you guys have any comments here that I can read real quick. Similar to stick, just spin stick so the frame style stays upright. Huh? Similar to stick, just spin the stick so the frame stays upright. I'm not sure. They are fine. They find a way. Yes, they find a way to try and live. I guess that's all they got to do, right? Have a good evening. Thank you for coming in here, Sarah. Prevents the wax cracking out. Yes. And sent 6 or 7. Huh? Do you think you have enough hives for the summer? Are you going to buy? No, I am not buying any more bees. I have probably about 18 out here that are still alive. Anything that has a brick, like that one over there, that's dead. And actually, that maybe hive, I believe, is also dead. So I don't know why I don't have a brick on there. And that one out there is, I believe, alive. And that one's alive. And that one's alive. And the ones under the straw I have not inspected. I got to do that tomorrow. They're a pain. Well, maybe I should do it tonight. Because trying to get underneath there to check for food stores is a pain, lifting up all that straw. These are the easy ones. So I usually do them first. So I think we're going to check to see how this one's doing for food stores. And maybe we'll check another one under the straw just to see. I have one of the 4 under the straw that are dead, so 3 are still alive. Let's see if this one's doing good. We'll do a quick one on this one. Yes. We got a little cluster there. We got a bunch of dead on the top here. Get rid of some of these dead bodies. Let's see how many are underneath here. We got 1, 2, 3 frames cluster, and from our experience now, they probably have no brood. So I'm not going to bother looking. And just for fun, we'll add some more sugar there. And we'll call that one done. Let's go take a look at the straw hive. Man, these boxes move everywhere. I'm trying to make sure the boxes line up. That's the other thing with the straw hives. you can't tell the boxes are lined up. Every time you move the straw bale, everything moves. All right, let's take a look. Let me see if I can find a light out there. I don't know. Can't see a thing. I'm going to take a look real quick, see if I can see anything under this first straw hive on there. He's out. I didn't blame him too. Huh? He's out. I don't blame him. Lots of laugh. Hope you okay. I am lost. There you go. Just on the glove, please. Huh? Oh, on the glove? The bee is dead? Yeah, it's dead. This one is gone. Passed away. All right, let's go take a look at this colony underneath this straw hail bale. Hail. Oh! Kind of roll it off to the side. Hope it don't fall over. Okay. Let's see if my phone cord can reach over there. Woo! Just unplugged it. What fun. I'm trying to get to that one in some logical fashion here without losing everything. See if I can wrap this cord around the tripod. Maybe it won't come unplugged. Oh, what joy of being non-wireless. Okay, we got it plugged in and tied down. Let's see how this group does underneath the straw. This is just for fun. Let me get rid of this other bale of straw just because it's in the way. This one right here is gone. You know what? It's actually frozen. It's frozen. I can't move it. Oh man. All right, so can we see this colony here? What if we lean this over a little bit? Lean the tripod over. Will you be able to see them? We lean it up against the colony this way. Close it up. Lean it against this chair. What the heck does it say? Quit moving around? I'm gonna poke the tripod right like that. Alright, so now we're ready. Ready to see what's inside this colony that is underneath the straw bale. I'm gonna get my other phone out. Use that as a flashlight. Doesn't have as much signal. It's only at 30%, so it should probably die soon. But for you guys, I'm going to turn on my flashlight. There. So now we'll have our flashlight going. And see what we see. This is under the straw. And I'm going to stand up on this other colony right next to it. So I'm standing right here, or kneeling on this colony here, so I can get up close here. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to shrink this tripod down, make it shorter. maybe I could stand it up then and make it manageable, since I'm standing on top of a dead colony. All right. Let's see if we could shorten this other piece here. And bring it down. Now, the thing that's holding me up is the cord. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Now we got it from a little bit of a height position here. Let's see what we got up here. Can we read these things? Let me switch this phone a little bit. Ah. There we go. All right. So, what is people saying here? Can't see a thing. All right. All right, what's we got going on here? He's out. Don't blame him. There you go. Put on gloves, please. Did the hive found that you joined the other did found that you can join with the other hive? Is that still alive? The colony we found out at the Wawa, I believe it was, they perished. I believe they're actually behind me on the end. I believe they're gone. Let me just go see. I think that's the one over behind me. That was a swarm they found in a tree. Yeah, so I think that colony is gone, and I replaced it with another colony that actually I could gather two colonies here. But yeah, the original glowing firewood colony is deceased. They were too small, I guess, or they didn't get enough food, or I'm a bad beekeeper. That's the way life goes around here. Last fall, I combined a lot of small colonies. I even joined the queen. Those colonies look strong. That is something that I did a couple of mine. I combined a few. I don't know, like 2 or 3 of my smaller colonies, Nate. And I don't remember which ones they were. Except for one behind me that I was just looking at. That was one of them. And I don't know. I have to think about it, see whether they were any better off or not. But yeah, the more bees, the more chances that they stay warm, definitely. The smaller colonies, I've had a couple of them have died, but I also had one that was large that died, and I think it's because they didn't have any food. So food, size, and other things can contribute to their being dead. Stacked 3 colonies together. Yeah, I did that last year. I think I did 4 colonies together, 4 queens. I had them all divided by screens, and the entire stack deceased. That was last year. But like I said, the thing with the 4 stacked hive, I couldn't inspect them without taking them completely apart. So in the winter months, I couldn't feed them. So that was one of my issues, was not being able to maintain them. So I like these individual ones because I can maintain them, because I can take the lids off. Like the straw, though, makes it very hard to take them off. So I don't really maintain these too well because I don't take the lids off enough. But, oh man, I do think the straw is doing more because as you can see, that colony is kind of large, and I think I left the honey on the side here. So they actually look like they need some food here. So I think what I'm going to do is go get some food. Can we put the light this way? I'm going to go get some food for these guys, because they look like they were pretty well starved out there. Now that's the problem with these guys, because I don't get the lids off them enough. I was afraid of that. You know the other thing I did? I just misplaced my eye. That's the other thing of doing this stuff in the dark. You can't see what you're doing. So because I don't mess around with this one as much, I'm going for the big piece of fondant. I think this is all comb in here from another colony. I don't think this is all food. I think this is comb that I put in there from other colonies. There is a little bit of sugar in there, but I think this is comb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this comb off to the side here, because that's not really going to do them any good if it's... Ow! They're stinging right through the glove. All right, so these gloves are useless. Ouch! Because they're stinging right through the gloves. Ow! They're like a goat skin, and they're actually stinging right through the glove. So these gloves are doing me no good. They stung right through the glove there. It's like a canvas right at the wrist there. See that stinger? That got me. All right, so that one is doing pretty good. So let's see if we can get this lid back on here without repositioning it. And I'm going to show you. My phone's dead. Oh, got the camera flipped around. That's why. All right, how do you flip this camera around when you got the gloves on? All right, I gotta risk getting stung and turn my camera around, or just go with it. Let's see. Put the frame of honey in there. Yeah, I don't have any real honey, and I'm afraid of the honey. The honey they tend to get stranded on because they don't tend to find the honey when I am doing it. They get lost. I'm gonna try and switch this camera around real quick. There we go. Oh, is it not? I don't know which way I'm supposed to go. Let's see. Is that the one? Got one going underneath my wrist. See if I can get my glove back in here. Yeah, I don't like the honey anymore. The frames, they tend to get lost on. I like the fondant because I can move that around right to the cluster, right where it's at. I'm going to show you the one that I'm sitting on right here is a dead out. This is underneath the straw to show you that just because you got the straw does not mean they're going to live. So this is an example of another colony. I took all the sugar off because it's dead, but this is a dead colony. Let's see, what are you guys looking at? Upside down, I can't read this. I'll have to read this later. So anyway, this is a dead colony. I'll show you what a dead colony looks like underneath a pile of straw. So this is what happens when a colony dies under a pile of straw. Ah. And I lost my hive tool already. Don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. It's underneath the camera pod. Now, did I just mess up your camera view? Let's see here. Looks like I'm still there. All right, so this is what the colony looks like underneath straw that has passed away. I'm doing this one hand because the other hand is holding the phone. So we got a couple bees on that frame, and this frame is pretty much empty. There's nothing on here that's worth anything. In fact, I'm going to take these frames out. There's no sense in just leaving them out here. Alright, so then this is what the colony, oops, let's do like I did in the other videos. We'll take this group and turn them sideways so we can dissect them before they fall apart. Alright, so the outermost part, you can see some sugar. I don't know if you could see it. I could see it. There's sugar in these frames here, and there's a bunch of bees inside the frames trying to keep warm. And here you can see a bunch of bees, and there is some bee butts. I'll show you the bee butts. And this is a foundationless frame here, but see all the bee butts? Dang, another one in my veil. Got me on the cheek. Dang. Dang. That hurts. Excuse me, I gotta check this. Let's see, switch this around. Where's this camera? Switch this around. Which is this side? Alright, let's see if I got a stinger in here. That one right here. Can you see a stinger? Somehow they get right there. Ow, I think it's gone. Dude! And I got these straps on too. Somehow they got in there. I got the hood. I got everything going. Where are they going at? Where are they getting in at? Right underneath these little pieces? I don't like this thing. Here, I took off my hood. I got get my hat back on. Where's the hood? Take the hat off. The hat keeps moving around. Alright, I got just the hood on. There. So they must be getting underneath these little pieces and crawling up underneath here or something. That's the third one, I guess, I got stung on here. That's horrible. I thought membership. Oh, I bought membership. Thank you. So I can get randomly sent to somebody and it randomly sent back to me. Oh, because you're the only one that's watching. That's what the problem is. Do you still have the rat rod? Yes, I do. It is got a new another replacement rear end because it just busted this winter. And I hear something. I hear something. Is it on the outside? Oh, golly. Oh. Oh, got me on the ear. Got me on the ear. Ow! Right on the earlobe. Ow! And it's still moving. That's 4 stings with this veil on. This is awful. What's the point of having a veil? Ugh. Oh my goodness. I wanted to show you these bees down here. All right, this is camera views. And I want to show you these dead bees. All right, is it the dead bees? There we go. Dead bees. I want to show you these dead bees. All right, so here's the other frame, and we've got some more bee butts right there, all stuck in the frame. And we'll dump that out. And we got on the other side, more dead bees. Let's see if we can clean them off. And we can see more bee butts. So somebody in the YouTube was telling me that this is starvation when the bee butts are in the frames. So it's possible that these bees, even though I was feeding them, maybe the food was not getting to them and they starved. So we'll dump that out. And what do we have on the next frame up? We have lots of dead bees. Let's see what we got underneath that pile of bees. I don't know if you can see that, but that's almost like a pound of bees. And see all them bee butts? All dead bees stuck in the frame. You see that? That's despicable. So we'll dump them out. And what's on the back side of that? Yes, more dead bees. Can you believe it? That's because it's a dead colony. And what do we have underneath the dead bees? We've got a carpet full of bees stuck in the cells. And they're all dead. Dead bees. Lots of dead bees. And there's a whole pile of dead bees. And I'm talking a pile of bees. That's a lot of dead bees. We'll dump them out. And what do we got on the next frame? We've got dead bees. Lots of dead bees. And what's under these dead bees? Dead bees. Who would have thought? Let's dump them out. What's underneath there? Dead bees. And what's underneath the frames of the bread? Dead bees. More dead bees. And let's go to the last frame. And what do we have underneath there? A few dead bees stuck in a frame. Not as many. And what do you have on the back of there? Empty cells. Oh, and what's in here? More dead bees. And there's actually sugar down there. Sugar. So, I'm actually going to take this whole box out of here. There's no point in having it outside here. Here's the bottom. So this is your fondant. Apparently some of this fondant is like, I don't know, maybe thicker crystals, because it's still like sugar form. So maybe it was too hard for them to digest and they just threw it out. But we've got a good pile of dead bees here. And that's the ones that weren't in the frame. take all this mess and just throw it inside for storage. So what do we have next to here? We have another colony. This one should be alive. But this is the problem with the colonies that are here. These bales of straw are heavy. So I'm going to put on my gloves because today's experience is showing me that you're going to get stung in this weather. Alright, so let's take off this bale of straw. We got 2 strings here. I'll try and grab them and lift it up and chuck it to the side. Alright. So now I'm standing on the tree stand, or I'm standing on the stand, which is about 1.5 feet off the ground. So I'm 1.5 feet in the air, standing on a metal frame, trying to inspect the colony. So there's nowhere to run because I am surrounded by straw on the back side of me, and straw on this side of me, and straw on this side of me, and a colony of bees right behind me. So I am stuck. No place to run. Now, what did I do with that hive tool? Oh, this is so much fun. I'll find it later. Here we go. Alright, we got the hive tool. Got the flashlight. We are ready to inspect. Let's see what anybody is saying in here. What's anybody saying? Try and read you sideways. He still has the rat rod. Yes, I do. Hi. Your ear are warm. That is really hot heat. Health. I have no idea. And you know what? You just reminded me. I lost my earpiece. That's not cool. Gotta do an earpiece check. See if we can. Oh shoot! What was that? Just something snapped. My soda bottle feeder I left in here. I guess it fell down in the bottom and I didn't bother picking it up. Let's see. Do I have an earpiece in here somewhere? Oh yes. Woohoo! This is another thing with these earpieces. When you get... I hit the wrong button. Alright. Alright. When you are messing with these bees and you get bees under your veil and you're wearing your earpiece, another bad thing is you lose your earpiece and don't realize it, and then you'll have it out in the middle of the yard somewhere, lost. That happened to me too many times. So I'm glad you reminded me about the earpiece. It fell off when I was checking my stung ear, because I would have never realized it until afterwards, and then lost another earpiece. These have a hook on them because the ones that I used to shove in my ear would fall out all the time. So the hook gives me a little better chance of not getting lost as easy. And what is that? That really heartbreaking. Yeah, them bees are heartbreaking when they die like that. Especially knowing that I spent all that food money on them. And now they're done. I'll type in caps so you can see it. There you go. that does actually help. Because I don't have my reading glasses on. Thanks for that, Jimmy. Of course, your name is small. My neighbors got their lights on outside. All right, so let's see if we can see this last colony that has the straw on it and how they are doing. I'm going to put my glove back on. We don't want to get stung, even though it's not stopping them. And this phone is stupid. It's like, there. Hey, I like that. Now the flashlight on the phone works, but the screen is on. So let's see what these bees look like. All right, so we got it. That's good. And we got a small cluster of bees. And what you see, no food at all. So these bees are on the verge of starvation. So now I've got to get out of here. I gotta go find food. Here, you watch the bees while I go find some food. Look, move the plastic. See if I can get out of here without killing myself. Jump off the bale. Bale of straw. Nothing like climbing on bales of straw to do beekeeping. And they're kind of wet. I didn't cover them up. So they're actually frozen down. So, how about that? Is that a big enough piece? Let's try and get this in here without squishing too many bees. Alright. Get out of there. We'll put the plastic on top, and just for fun, I'm going to make this another one. And there's actually bees. See that inside this plastic bag? That's why I don't like these plastic bags, because the bees get stuck in here. Not only on the outside, but they're on the inside. There we go. No more bees on the outside. Alright, so do I have my hive tool? Let's see. My hive tool is, yep, I have the hive tool located. So let's put on the inner cover. And I'm going to use this waxed paper as my blocker of the hole here. That has no upper vent. And we're going to put on the lid here. And this all can slide around as soon as I put the bale of straw back on there. So there's nothing sacred here. Let's take a look at this one. Let's see if we can move this bale of straw on top of this one. There's no place to stand here. I just bumped this one behind me. And now they're coming out the lid. Oh, bother. See that? That's terrible. So then we gotta try and put this one back together with a straw on it and not shift it around. Ugh. All right. It looks like it's okay. Let's take a look at this colony right here. All right, so now I got a bale of straw right here in between me and the colony. So I'm going to lean over to work on this one. Let's see what we got. Take the inner cover. Oh, this is the iWave. This thing is not working because I broke the fuse on it. But I keep leaving it there thinking I'm going to hook it up sometime and fix it. So then underneath that is an inner cover. And then we have all the parchment paper from all the times I fed them as like a vapor barrier. And I guess it smells like sugar, so they're on it. And looks like there's one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames that they're on. So I'm going to give them what's left of this other colony's sugar that was on this frying pan. So that means this frying pan is completely empty. There's my hive tool. I'll get that off to the side. And then we got this entire pan full of fondant yet. I don't want to use it up all in here because I think I might need some for some others. So I'm going to take off, let's try this piece right here. We'll take that piece and we'll stick it right on top of here and squish these bees. Let's see. Get off the sugar. That don't work. They're right back on it. There. We'll just go with it. That's the problem with this. These bees are all over everything. And then we'll put it on this parchment paper as like our little inner cover and keeps the moisture down. So it kind of like traps the moisture on top of the paper. There we go. Then we'll have our inner cover. And then we'll have our eye wave. It's got an eye wave, but then it has a screen here to keep bees away from the eye wave electronics. And you fall down. And then we need an inner cover, don't we? No, we're just going to put a lid on it. There we go. And then on top of that, we need a bale of straw. Find our bale of straw over here. There goes the hive tool and everything. I'm going to look for the hive tool now. I'm going to put on our bale of straw right on top of this colony here. Ugh. Kind of roll it over. There we go. Now we got a bale of straw on this colony. Ugh. What a mess. So, there is where I was. Now I'm going to go back in there and look for my hive tool. No, my second went out. Lots of lever. All right. Sorry your second went out. Your second got out. Awesome. You got 2 busy hives in the straw. Actually, there's 3. 3 busy hives in the straw. Oh, 1 died, so 1 out of 4 died in here. And I'm now looking for, there's my pan, there's my sugar. Here's some, oh, I see the hive tool. It's down on the ground. All right, so let's get these frames here in this box. That way I can get them out of here. This is the fun of beekeeping. Cleaning up all your messes. Because if you let it get out of your hand, before long you got a mess everywhere. You can't even function. Now my brother was suggesting on these colonies they have all the dead bees in the frames, some air. So I'm thinking maybe we ought to try that. Some air and blow out the bees. That would be interesting. So there's our extra inner cover. Here's our hive lid. And down in here is hive food. Down in here. Oh, we got our entrance reducer. All right. Now we got to get this one covered up. Otherwise, it won't be a straw hive that doesn't have straw on it. We've got 2 strings here. Got our fondant. I think that's going to end it for tonight. I've had enough of the bees and trying to see what I'm doing in the middle of the dark. Had enough stings. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching and goodbye. And how do we exit this thing?